Hello everyone, welcome to the Daily Current Affair Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy, 15th November 2025. Before getting into the discussion, please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't, please do subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time updates from the Academy. Before getting into the topics for the discussion, we have an important announcement. It is regarding the pre-storming UPSC Prelims Test Series. The batch 3rd will be starting on November 19th. Do register and crack the prelims in 2026. So coming to the topics for today's discussion, the first topic is tuberculosis in India. So recently the World Health Organization released the global TB report, and India witnessed a fall of TB incidents by 21% between 2015 and 2024. And the next article is regarding the India Inclusion Summit, which is going to be held on the November 16th in the city of Bengaluru. And the next topic is regarding the Saranda forest protection. So recently the Supreme Court of India directed the state of Jharkhand to declare the Saranda forest into Saranda Wildlife Sanctuary. And the next topic is Jan Sunwayi. So recently the government organized the Jan Sunwayi to strengthen the participatory governance from the tribal communities. And finally, we will be discussing some of the important prelims related topics in the prelims focus. If all set, let's begin the discussion with the first article. Tuberculosis incidents falling in India by 21% a year, WHO report. The article is taken from The Hindu. So we know that recently the World Health Organization released the global TB report. TB, tuberculosis. It's an infectious disease caused by the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. And we can see that with the emergence of this drug-resistant TB, now the TB is not just affecting the health of the people, it is affecting the socio-economic condition of the people. It has a relation with the socio-economic condition of a person. So we can see that with the drug-resistant TB, the treatment cost is increasing, the duration of the treatment is increasing. So it is not just a public health concern, it is a socio-economic concern too. And if we take the 5 countries with the high TB burden in the world, the 5th will be Pakistan, the 4th will be China, 3rd will be Philippines, and the 2nd will be Indonesia, and the 1st will be India, because India holds nearly 25% of total TB cases in the world. And from this report, we found that the TB incidence in India has fallen by 21% between 2015 and 2024. What is meant by incidence? Incidence means new cases reporting every year. And in 2015, the condition was if you take 1 lakh people, out of 1 lakh people, there is a possibility for 237 TB patients or 237 people with TB. But now it got reduced to 187 per lakh. And this declining rate is nearly double than the global rate, which is currently at 12%. And the TB mortality also dropped from 28 per lakh to 21 per lakh between 2015 and 2024. And coming to the TB. So like I already mentioned, it's an infectious disease caused by the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It can either affect the pulmonary system or it can affect other organs in the human body. If it is affecting the pulmonary system, that is known as pulmonary TB. If it is affecting the other organs, that is known as extrapulmonary TB. Other organs means kidney, brain, bones or spine. And the transmission is through air. So when the infected person or a TB active person is speaking or talking or sneezing or coughing near the uninfected people, in that case there is a possibility of transmitting the infection. And coming to the risk factors, so you can see that the people living with a weak immune system, for example, people living with HIV are at the high risk of getting a TB infection. And then malnourished people are at the high risk of getting TB infection. People living in poor condition and overcrowded area are also at the high risk of getting TB infection. So we can see that the people living in poor condition, that means unhygiene environment, and the people living in overcrowded area with a high population density, in that case the transmission will be easy. So the people living in these conditions are at the high risk of developing TB infection. And people with diabetes, people have with the habits of smoking and alcohol consumption are also at the high risk of developing TB. And coming to the major symptoms, so in the case of pulmonary TB, the common symptoms are persisting cough. That means that if the coughing is lasting for more than 3 weeks, then it can be a symptom of TB. And coughing up blood or phlegm, that can be a symptom of TB. And chest pain, fever, night sweat, weight loss, and fatigue. So these are the major symptoms of pulmonary TB. And in the case of extrapulmonary TB, the symptoms will vary according to the organ which got affected. For example, in the case of spine, if it is a spinal TB, the most common symptom is back pain. So like that, the symptoms will vary according to different organs. And coming to the treatment, the standard treatment for the TB includes DOTS regimen, that is directly observed treatment, which is a short-term treatment lasting for nearly 6 months or more based on the rate of infection in a person. If the rate of infection is high, then the treatment will also go for a long time. And it includes providing combination of antibiotics. And the most common drugs that we are using for treating the TB are isoniazid, rifampicin, pyrazinamide, and ethambutol. So these are the common drugs that we are using to treat the TB. And to protect the children from TB, from severe TB at the time of birth, we will be providing Bacillus calamite guerin vaccine. And coming to the types of drug-resistant TB. So we know that the drug resistance is a major challenge in treating the TB. So according to WHO, there are 5 major types of drug-resistant TB. The first is monoresistance. So here the TB infection will be showing resistance only to one first-line drug. That can be isoniazid, or sometimes rifampicin, or sometimes ethambutol. It will show resistance only to one of the drugs in the first line. And the next is the polyresistance. So here it will be showing resistance to more than one drugs at the first line, but will not show resistance to the combination of drugs. And the third is the multi-drug resistant TB. So here the resistance will be against the isoniazid and rifampicin. And the next is the extensively drug resistant TB. So here it is a combination of multi-drug resistant TB plus it will show resistance to any fluoroquinolone plus it will show resistance to any one second line medicine, that can be kanamycin or amikacin. And the next is the rifampicin resistance. So here the TB will be showing resistance to the rifampicin medicine. So in this way we can classify the resistance, the TB resistance, into 5. And we can see that the over period of time, the duration of the TB course, the duration of the TB treatment based on the severity of the infection will change. So what happens is that sometimes the people will stop taking the medication in the middle of the course. So this is a major reason behind the development of the drug resistance in the TB. And coming to the major initiative, so we know that the 24th March every year is observed as the World Tuberculosis Day to create awareness about this infection. And the key initiative which helped the India to achieve this success is the TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan. So it's a community-led initiative against the TB infection. So through this initiative, we have screened nearly 19 crore vulnerable individuals. We have detected nearly 24 plus TB patients, including out of it nearly 8 lakh of the infections were asymptomatic. And it is a community driven initiative. So what was a major feature of this scheme was Nikshay Mitra. So these are the volunteers, they will be working from the community level against the TB infection. And coming to the next, we have the umbrella initiative, that is the National TB Elimination Program, which is aiming to eliminate the TB as a public health concern by 2025. So coming to the key achievements. So currently the treatment coverage got increased from 53% in 2015 to 92% in 2024. And you can see that out of nearly estimated 20 lakh cases, we have diagnosed nearly 26.18 lakh people. And next is the missing cases reduced from 15 lakh in 2015 to 1 lakh to 2024. And the treatment success is currently standing at 90%, which is higher than the global average, that is 88%. And you can see that there is no significant rise in the multi-drug resistant TB cases in the recent times. So these are the major achievements that we have achieved in the fight against the TB as a public health concern. So coming to the prelims practice question. The question is, with reference to tuberculosis, consider the following statements. Statement 1, extrapulmonary tuberculosis refers to infection caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis occurring outside the lungs, such as kidney, brain and bones. Statement 2, transmission of TB occurs only through direct physical contact with an infected person, not through the air. So from our discussion, we can easily find out that the statement 2 is incorrect while the statement 1 is correct. So here the correct answer will be option A, 1 only. Let's check. Yes, because TB transmits through the air, not here the statement is going incorrect. The primary source of TB transmission is through the air. So here the correct answer is option A, 1 only. So with this we will move to the next article. India Inclusion Summit 2025 celebrates validation of hard work. The article is taken from The Hindu. So the 13th edition of the India Inclusion Summit is going to happen in the city of Bengaluru. So it's a national event regarding the disability inclusion and accessibility. And the organizer is the India Inclusion Foundation. And the major features of the summit includes inspirational talks, workshops, art and cultural events, participation of persons with disabilities, caregivers and supporters. And this 13th edition is very special because we are expecting our 800 plus participants, and a special message from the spiritual leader Dalai Lama will be there, and the chief guest, the former Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, will be inaugurating the 13th edition, and his book Why the Constitution Matters addresses the inclusion as a justice. And coming to the major initiative in the Inclusion Summit, it is the Inclusion Fellowship. So this fellowship will be supporting the social entrepreneurs working on disability solutions, and the fellowship will be starting on 14th and 15th November. That includes personalized mentorship, 2-month hybrid program. That means the selected fellows will be going for both training as well as guiding, and it will be focusing on startups solving real problems in disability inclusion. And coming to the significance of this India Inclusion Summit, it encourages visibility and recognition for the people with the disabilities, serves as a platform for advocacy, networking, showcasing innovation, experience, sharing lived experiences, and it also emphasizes the importance of policymakers, civil society, and community leaders in building an inclusive India. Because we can see that we are on the path to achieve the Vikasit Bharat 2047. So we have to make the society more inclusive, we have to make our developments more sustainable, and this India Inclusion Summit is a major step towards that. And coming to the government initiatives that we have in the present system for the people with the disabilities. First, we have the umbrella act, that is the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act of 2016, and we can see that through this amendment in 2016 we have expanded the disability categories to 21, increased reservations for the people with the disabilities in jobs by 4% and in education by 5%. And next we have the Accessible India campaign 2015, which was launched on 3rd December 2015 on the day of World Disability Day, and this initiative is working under the Ministry of Social Justice. So the objective is making the buildings, transport and digital services more accessible to the people with the disabilities. And next we have the Unique Disability ID Project 2016, which provides a digital accessibility certificate with a single national ID for the people with the disabilities. And the next initiative that we have, the National Action Plan for Skill Development for the people with the disabilities. It was launched in 2015, and this will be focusing on skilling, employment support and entrepreneurship support for the people with the disabilities. And then we have the Sukmaya Sahayat app, which was launched in 2017. It's an accessibility grievance redressal system for the people with the disabilities. And next we have the MG Narega provision, that is MG Narega Disability Inclusion Provision 2013, which guarantees 1% job for the people with the disabilities with equal wages and support. So these are the initiatives that we have at the present for inclusion. And coming to the prelims practice question, the question is, consider the following statements regarding the Accessible India campaign. So we already discussed that the objective is making the public transport, building and digital services more friendly for the people with the disabilities. So, and this initiative was launched in 2015. We'll discuss that. So the question is, consider the following statements regarding Accessible India campaign. Statement 1, it aims to make public government building, public transportation and information and technology accessible to the people with the persons with the disabilities. Statement 2, it was launched by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment in 2015. So from our discussion we can see that both the statements are correct. So here the correct answer will be option C, both 1 and 2. So with this we will move to the next article. Supreme Court protects 314 square kilometer of pristine sal forest in Jharkhand, Saranda. The article is taken from The Hindu. So recently, that is on 13th November, the Supreme Court of India directed the state of Jharkhand to declare 31,468 hectares, that is approximately 314 square kilometer of Saranda forest as Saranda Wildlife Sanctuary for the better protection of the flora and fauna in the Saranda forest. And coming to the ecological significance of Saranda forest, so we know that it is the world's largest sal forest, and it is located in the western Singhbhum district in the state of Jharkhand, and it is known for key faunas like sal forest tortoise, which is classified as critically endangered in the IUCN Red List, and they are endemic to this region. And the next is four-horned antelope, they are classified as vulnerable. And the next is the Asian palm civet, and the important species found in this region are Asian elephants. They are classified as endangered in the IUCN Red List, and we have to note that this Western Singhbum region, including the Saranda forest, they are an important part of the elephant landscape of India. And the next is the mining context in this region. So we have to understand that the Saranda forest, it falls under the Singhbum district, and the Singhbum district is an important region of the Chota Nagpur plateau, and the Saranda forest division holds nearly 26% of India's iron ore reserve, and many companies like SAIL and Tata Steel are relying the surrounding areas for mining activities. So initially, the state of Jharkhand, considering the mining activity, considering the infrastructure, considering the tribal life in this region, they proposed a smaller wildlife sanctuary with an area of 24,941.64 hectares. But later, the state clarified that there is no such mining activities or other non-forest activities are going on here. So therefore, currently the state is proceeding with the directed area, that is 31,468.25 hectares. And once this Saranda Wildlife Sanctuary is declared, it is going to be one of the largest sal forest sanctuaries in the world, and also an important elephant corridor. And coming to the important communities living in this area, first is the Ho tribe. They belong to the language family Austroasiatic, and they are highly depending on the forest for their day-to-day life, and they are mainly found in the regions of Jharkhand and Odisha. And the next important tribe is Munda tribe. So they are they belongs to the language family of Proto-Austroasiatic, and they are associated with the Sardar movement in the mid-19th century. So Sardar movement is an important peaceful movement led by the tribal communities. Please note that it's a peaceful movement led by the tribal communities to protect their interest in the mid-19th century. And not just the Mundas, many other tribal communities also participated in this Sardar movement. And the next community is the Kurk community. They belongs to the language family Dravidian, and they are traditional shifting cultivators. And coming to the practice session, we have a question from 2014 UPSC Prelims. The question is, consider the following pairs. 1. Dampa Tiger Reserve, Mizoram. 2. Gumti Wildlife Sanctuary, Sikkim. 3. Saramadi Peak, Nagaland. So from these three pairs, we have to identify which of them are correctly matched. Option A 1 only, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 1 and 3 only, option D 1, 2 and 3. So we can see that the second pair is incorrectly matched. The Gumti Wildlife Sanctuary is not located in Sikkim, it is located in the state of Tripura. So here the statement, the second pair is going wrong. So the correct answer will be option C, 1 and 3 only. Let's check. Yes. And next we have another question. The question is regarding Changpa community. So with reference to the Changpa community, and this was asked in the UPSC Prelims 2014. So the question is, with reference to Changpa community of India, consider the following statements. Statement 1, they live mainly in the state of Uttarakhand. Statement 2, they rear Pashmina goat that yield a fine wool. Statement 3, they are kept in the category of scheduled tribes. Which of the above statements given above is or are correct? Option A 1 only, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 3 only, and option D 1, 2 and 3. So we can see that the Changpa community, they are not living in the state of Uttarakhand, they are found in the Changtang plateau that is located in Ladakh. So here the statement 1 is incorrect, while the statement 2 and statement 3 are correct. So the correct answer will be option B, 2 and 3 only. So with this, we will move to the next article. Successful organization of Jan Sunwayi at more than 25,000 Adi Seva Kendras across country, a major step towards participatory tribal governance. The article is taken from Press Information Bureau. So we know that this year, that is 2025, is observed as the Jan Jatiya Gaurav Varsh to commemorate the contribution of tribal communities for the development of this country. And on 13th November, so before that, why we are observing this 2025 as Jan Jatiya Gaurav Varsh? Because this year, November 15 marks the 150th birth anniversary of Birsa Munda, the leader of the Munda rebellion. And you can see that as a part of this Jan Jatiya Gaurav Varsh, on 13 November, the government of India organized the Jan Sunwayi at 25,000 Adi Seva Kendras. Adi Seva Kendras are single window tribal facilitation centers working under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. And Jan Sunwayi, it's a platform which brings together the communities and the government officials to resolve lot of issues faced by the society. And the major objective of this Gen Sunwayi was strengthening participatory tribal governance and ensuring direct government citizen interface. And coming to the purpose and core functions of this Gen Sunwayi. So, like I already mentioned, strengthening the participatory governance. How? Through to facilitating the grievance redressal for the tribal citizens, preparation and review of village action plans under the development action for Janjadiya Unnat Abhiyan. So, Janjadiya Unnat Abhiyan, it's an holistic, it's an initiative for the holistic development of the tribal community. So, the primary aim of the Gen Sunwayi is participatory governance of the tribal communities through grievance redressal and preparation and review of the village action plans under the development action for Janjadiya Unnat Abhiyan. Janjadiya Unnat Abhiyan, it's an holistic scheme for the holistic development of the tribal communities. And coming to the major themes of discussion, the themes covered areas like livelihood, employment of the tribal communities, land rights, forest governance, housing, healthcare, education, accessibility to the welfare schemes, and also strengthening the Gram Sabha framework. And coming to the key highlights of the events, so you can see that the Gen Sunwayi was held held at over nearly 25,000 plus Adi Seva Kendras. Thousands of villages participated in structured consultation with the government, and the village action plans were finalized through the community-driven priority setting. So we can see that the demand as well as the priorities of every community will not be same. In certain areas, the priority will be forest rights, while in certain areas, the priority will be going for health. So like that, through the community-driven priority setting, we have finalized the village action plan under the Unnat Abhiyan. And in this event, that is in Gen Sunwayi, the officials also ensured on-spot grievance resolution, monitoring mechanism for the successful implementation of the scheme, and integration of feedback into the upcoming development action plan under the Janjadiya Unnat Abhiyan phases. And the next is it strengthened the inter-ministerial convergence for the successful tribal development. So we know that the demands of the tribal area, is not in a particular. It's not particular. It covers many areas. For example, education, health, transportation. Like that, it covers multiple areas. To ensure development in all these areas, we need a successful collaboration between different ministries. For example, we need collaboration between education and forest. We need a collaboration between tribal affairs and social justice. So this Gen Sunwayi, it's a step towards achieving this successful collaboration between various ministries. And coming to the significance for the tribal governance. So why the tribal governance is important? Because it ensures the grassroots democracy and institutionalized participation of the citizen for the development. Strengthens the decentralized governance. That is, the principle is aligning with the Panchayat Raj Extension Act and the Forest Rights Act principles. And it ensures the last mile delivery of welfare schemes. It will boost the transparency and accountability in the tribal development, because we can see that through this Gen Sunwayi, the officials ensured on-spot grievance redressal. And it demonstrates tribal-led development, supporting the vision of Vikasit Bharat 2047. And coming to the certain additional information, so we already mentioned about the Adi Seva Kendra. So these are the facilitation centers working under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, which was launched to provide scheme access to the tribal areas, digital services in the tribal areas, documentation support, especially related to the forest properties and land and other resources in the tribal area, grievance redressal, and we can see that it is integrated with the Adivasi Grant Management System and tribal development monitoring. And the next is the development action plan under the for the Janjadiya Unnat Abhiyan. So it's a flagship initiative for the holistic development of the tribal community, covering livelihood, health, education, forest rights, and infrastructure. And Janjadiya Gaurav Varsh 2025. So it's a national year-long celebration honoring the tribal freedom fighters and the tribal culture in India. And it is celebrating in 2025 because this year marks the 150th birth anniversary of Birsa Munda. And coming to the mains practice question, the question is participatory platforms such as Gen Sunwayi at Adi Seva Kendras can transform tribal governance in India. Discuss with reference to development action plan for Janjadiya Unnat Abhiyan, decentralized planning, convergence based service delivery. So it's a 15 marks question and you have to write around 250 words. Write the answer and post it in the comment section. We will review and we will reply for your answer. Now it's time to move to the next article. So coming to the prelims focus, the first topic is India's largest geothermal technology pilot project. This is going to be set up in the state of Andhra Pradesh by the Energy Efficiency Services Limited. There will be two installations. First is in the Araku Valley and the second in the city of Visakhapatnam. And the significance or the objective is accelerating the economic development through cutting edge clean technologies. What is mean by cutting edge technologies? Latest and most advanced technologies. Cutting edge clean technology means latest and most advanced clean technologies. And the next topic is Mount Kilimanjaro. So we know that it is the highest peak in Africa and it is a dormant volcano. Dormant means inactive volcano, and it is known for its diverse ecosystem and iconic glaciers. But recently a new study found that there is a significant reduction in the biodiversity of Mount Kilimanjaro due to the human activities than the climate change. So how the human activities impacted the Mount Kilimanjaro's biodiversity? First is the expansion of the human population, particularly in the lower slopes of the mountain. And the second is the changes in the land use pattern in this region, that is conversion of natural savanna into farmlands and towns. And the result was loss of nearly 75% of native plant species since 1911. And the next topic is Cyber Bharat Setu workshop. So it's a national cyber security exercise organized by the Directorate of Information Technology, which is working under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, and it is located in the state of Tripura. And the Directorate of Information Technology, they collaborated with the Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, which is working under the Ministry of Information and Technology, to organize this event. And the objective is building a cyber resilient Bharat through capacity building, innovation, and proactive defense strategies. And the title of this cyber security exercise was Cyber Bharat Setu, Bridging States, Securing Bharat. So coming to the prelims practice question, the question is at Mount Kilimanjaro, the existence of permanent ice near the summit despite its location close to the equator is primarily due to option A, high annual precipitation throughout the year, option B, the presence of high altitude cold desert climate, option C, the extremely low air temperature caused by its great elevation, and option D, strong cold ocean currents influencing the regional climate. So from this options we can easily find the answer. The Mount Kilimanjaro, it's a dormant volcano. It is the highest peak in Africa. So definitely here the correct answer is option C. So in the higher altitude, the air temperature will be low. So due to the elevation, the temperature is low. That is why there is a permanent ice in the summit of the Mount Kilimanjaro. So here the correct answer is option C. With this, we are coming to the conclusion for today's current affair analysis. If you like the video, hit the like button, give your feedbacks as comments, and share this content with your friends. And before leaving this channel, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time updates from the academy. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for listening to me. Have a nice day.